I was trying to be nice when we started this video. I can't, Scott the video guy. I can't do it. This was supposed to be comedic and I'm just pissed. Hey, I'm Dr. Mike Israetel, creator of the RP Hypertrophy app and a professor of sport and exercise science at Lehman College in the Bronx, in New York City, in the United States, on planet Earth, and I am going to be critiquing comedically, I hope, the Captain Marvel workout got Brie Larson into unreal shape for her movie role as Captain Marvel. Let's do it. She sure does a lot of stuff. She better be training pretty hard.
Brie came to me, and the good news was we had 9 months.
9 months. That's long enough for another thing. I'm just going to quit while I'm behind. I will say 9 months is a really long time. You can make serious changes in body composition in 9 months, which is really, really awesome. This guy's really lucky to have had her for that long.
We wanted to get that foundational strength and movements established, and that's really the nuts and bolts of it.
Bro. Typically, when women do hip thrusts, you don't touch their bodies needlessly. You do not mount them needlessly as if in a lewd position, and they sure shit don't need 18 plates on each side. Most of those are 10s, by the way. This is a terrible exercise choice for glute hypertrophy. Glutes typically benefit, like almost all muscles, training at a deep stretch. Something like a front foot elevated lunge is 10 times the exercise that this is. And when you do an exercise, you do it with weights that are light enough that the person can do them themselves. Not that you have to go over them and help them awkwardly. I don't know what this is. This is weird. Help.
So we need her to be super resilient, super strong so that she can...
Overhead lunges are cool, but it's a skill builder for overhead lunging. And unless you're trying to get good at that, which you're not, let me tell you what you're trying to do as a superhero movie character. You are trying to get juicy glutes and quads and hamstrings so people go, damn, because that's what your job is. You're an actor. You're not really a superhero. I know it sounds crazy. And thus, just barbell lunges with a bar on your back would be superior because you don't have to do any shoulder stabilization. You can use more load that quickly gets to your glutes and stimulates them instead of having to balance a whole bunch and get good at balancing for no reason at all. Okay, and here she is pushing a Jeep. Impressive, I will say, but also pushing a vehicle only contracts the muscles while they're shortening. It's called a concentric muscle action. And concentric muscle actions by themselves seem to not provide nearly as much muscle growth, which is probably the vast majority of the reason you're training in Hollywood. Because eccentric actions are much more powerful for muscle growth. Pushing something as concentric only, this is a poor use of fatigue management in a training program. I just would never do this.
And I knew in the movie by talking to the stunt coordinator what was really going to be presented to her. So I wanted to give her all of the tools possible to get through this thing and really nail it and feel confident.
I will say it is absolutely nice that he is trying to get her to general movement competency so she doesn't get hurt and shut down production. It's nice that he's getting coordinated with the person who does the choreography. But I will say that just doing more traditional hypertrophy exercises, like you'll find in our hypertrophy app. In any case, those work really well, and they also provide probably even better resiliency because they are asking you to go through extreme ranges of motion. So it's a very nice notion, and I really like where he's coming from on this. The exercise selection so far, not ideal. Not ideal.
I use it before the workout and after. Before because I can get adjustments down my spine, and then afterwards it's more for recovery. All right.
Okay, so foam rolling doesn't adjust your spine. It just makes you feel nice. But if that works to get you more confident about your workout, that's pretty good. The foam roller does not help you recover in any way, shape, or form. That is entirely illusory. This was supposed to be comedic, and I'm just pissed.
All right, next up, we're gonna do the world's greatest stretch. This is great for the hips, mobility, it gets the upper back, hamstrings. Devin's gonna step out, and he's gonna drop that inside elbow.
Why would you name that the world's greatest stretch? Fuck. It's just a stretch. It's a great stretch. World's greatest stretch. You see someone else doing another stretch, and you're like, no. You clearly have not been availed to the truth. And they're like, what? Do this. It's the world's best.
All right, for the next section in the activation, the muscles that are supporting the spine, especially for squatting or hip hinge or any of these kind of things, I want to make sure that they're turned on before we actually...
A little bit. You guys know what really fires up the spine to get ready for squats? squats with a light weight. There is no better warm-up than the warm-up with lighter weight and higher reps to the exercise you're actually doing. It checks every single box and still others, like it saves time and is direct technique warm-up to whatever it is you're doing. I don't have to change my technique feel for this versus squatting or whatever afterwards. If I just warm up with squatting, generally that is the best possible warm up with squatting. This is total fluff. It's a total waste of time. I don't recommend you do it. Okay, so standard Hollywood trainer circa 2023. Glute training begins with hip thrusts. Hip thrusts are not a very good glute exercise. They miss the stretched position of the glute. And better exercises exist like a sumo squat, sumo deficit deadlift, definitely any kind of lunge, especially front foot elevated lunge on a Smith machine. That would crush it. This is not ideal.
We're going to use it here to activate some of those stabilizer muscles around the shoulder.
Why would you want to activate stabilizer muscles around the shoulder? What is the point of that? I have no idea. It sounds cool. I don't even know how long we are into this video. We've not done any exercising yet. Where's the shit I pay you for, motherfucker?
Devin's a big guy, and if he's sweating from 2-pound weights, trust me, these are going to be plenty for you guys. Good.
That hurt my soul to hear. You can sweat by turning up the heat in your car. That won't actually get you in shape. And by the way, when you're a 270-pound person, you sweat no matter what you do. So I don't know what that's an argument for. Is Devin being challenged? No, he's not. Luckily, this is a warm-up. You should hope you're sweating in a warm-up. That's the whole point. My head.
All right, one more activation exercise here, and this is full.
Oh my God. I thought he was going to brazenly and irresponsibly introduce actual exercise. I would have honestly called the CDC if I had seen him just ripping that poor man right into a brutal workout with only 2 pointless activation exercises. I was trying to be nice when we started this video. I can't, Scott the video guy. I can't do it.
What we're trying to do is prime the nervous system, get the body flowing.
I love priming the nervous system, but only second to getting the body flowing. Which, if I was a professor of sport and exercise science, I'd probably know with nonsense. I don't even know what that means. Flowing where? If your body's flowing, you need to pick parts of it up and reattach it to yourself, because that's really bad. Folks, go to school. Stay in school. That's all I'm going to say.
What I want to do is go ahead and show you some progressions on this landmine. We're going to put 25 pounds on the bar, which is nice and easy, but go ahead and find your movement. Figure out how this is supposed to feel.
Great advice on warming up. I love it. Start light and warm up later. Totally great. Gotta cut this gentleman his due.
Squeeze, push the hips all the way through.
It's really good that they elevated that thing on a platform. Who the fuck knows what would happen if you reached all the way down another 3 inches? More muscle growth and strength and ability, you say? Nonsense. Spinal injury and death.
Grab the end of the bar. That's going to keep it from twisting inside.
So here's how this works. More sports science you may have not wanted to know. The grabbing of the end of a bar is profoundly difficult because it is a very thick handle and you have to 2-finger grab it and you can't even get good finger overlap somehow. So you are going to be limited in almost every case, unless you are geriatrically weak, no offense, by your grip. And you will not produce a robust stimulus for your glutes, which, by the way, your glutes are so much stronger than your grip could ever be, it's not even funny. This is not a glute exercise. This is a movement that looks like it trains glutes to the untrained eye. In reality, it's a forearm exercise, which you do that shit at home anyway, right? What the hell is Pornhub for?
All right, the next one for our secondary exercise is a horizontal push. If you need to, you can step through, push yourself back up.
That was good. That's a good exercise to do if you're not strong enough yet to do full range of motion push-ups, which is totally cool if you're not. We all come from somewhere. And now we've got an exercise that's isometric push-up that has holds in it. Let's find out if this is worth our while.
So the next progression we worked on with Brie to get her into to a point where she could actually do push-ups.
Okay, so she came in not being able to do push-ups. So, okay, this is good. I'm curious. Color me curious.
Bring the elbows back, take your chest about 2 to 3 inches off the ground, and then drop. Start back over.
So you do eccentric control until the most hypertrophic muscle growth part of the movement at the very bottom of the stretch, and that's when you reduce the tension. I don't get it.
Dynamic push-up, draping some chains over her hips. I think these chains are about 20 pounds apiece.
Okay, so now we have video of her doing it. The chains are cool, a fine way to add load. Not the best way to add load because it makes the push-up harder at the top and easier at the bottom. The way muscle growth actually works is you want it harder at the bottom and easier at the top, which a push-up is already leveraged to have you do. So the chains are actually not a great choice. A better choice would be to have her wear a little backpack or to just him finally get an excuse to stand next to her and be in physical contact, take a plate, put it right under her shoulder blades, hold it there for her gently as she does a full range of motion. Second thing, what the fuck is that stupid blue pad there for except to limit the range of motion so the stretch on the muscle isn't as good, so the hypertrophy results are not as good, so her pecs are not as jacked, so we have less of an easy time believing that she is in fact a super heroine.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a finisher that we did with Brie.
Finishers are awesome. I love it. I can't wait. Dumbbell total body complex, 6 reps of each movement, never putting the weights down. This is gonna be as tough as it is pointless.
Upright row, we're gonna do a snatch, push press, into a bent over row, back into a snatch. We're gonna move these as quickly as we can.
So an overarching critique here with a lot of these videos, this one for sure, is that there seems to be kind of a mystery as about what it is we're in the gym to accomplish. If I have somebody from Hollywood approaching me, I want to know what they want their physique to look like for the role, because that's why we're training. Then every exercise and every rep and every set and every structure of the program will be designed to actually train the target muscle optimally so that you look exactly like what you're supposed to look like. This has a lot of elements of like general fitness, kind of pop fitness, aerobics class stuff. Just cool for moving around with weights. But if you're being paid an inordinate amount of money to get someone shaped for an unbelievably important role that will also make them an inordinate amount of money, you just you can do better. This is just really random stuff, guys. This is the state of celebrity workouts nowadays. Random fluff nonsense. You guys are being ripped off.
Brie worked out 5 days a week with me pretty much the whole 9 months. She worked her ass off to get into shape for this movie. I'm really, really proud of her. She got pound for pound as strong as any guy that I know. And that's saying something. That's really fantastic.
She got pound for pound as strong as any guy you know. Well, I know a lot of girls that are pound for pound way stronger than her, and a ton of guys as well. Sir, you don't know enough strong guys. And aren't you stronger pound for pound than her? I quit my job. That was a training video with no training in it. It was just one warm-up the whole time. No hate. The trainer in the video, I'm sure, is great. We all have plenty of me saying weird shit on the internet. I mean, Jesus Christ, the push-up was sort of good. It's just so much goddamn fluff. Oh, God. 2 out of 10.